Hey, 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 not in the store and never before. This is an exclusive Tunisian crochet corner to corner brought to you by me, your host, DZ, the crochet lady. Today I'm going to share with you the corner to corner smock stitch. It's worked up just a little bit differently than the regular way of Tunisian crocheting this particular stitch, but I know you guys can do it. Just hang in there. There's some really cool tips that you don't want to miss so that your item turns out really awesome. Okay, I'll check you guys out in just 1 second over in the crochet corner. Alrighty, so let's check out the supplies. So we have yarn bee sugar wheel. This is key lime kisses, super soft. And when you work the Tunisian crochet in this way, it has a more drapey effect than the normal traditional method. Okay, so I used a size 7mm Afghan hook. Bamboo, you don't have to use bamboo, you can use whatever you have on hand. If you're gonna make a large blanket, you may wanna get a cabled hook. I just wanna bring out that tension is key. I bring this up later in the video, but tension is key. You don't wanna have your item bend one way or the other. So you'll be able to tell if that's happening and whether or not you need to loosen up just a bit. Also, this kind of works up at a slight slant, as you can see. You can block it, but just because of the nature, we're working it from a corner, it is going to lay askew slightly, okay? So if you guys are ready for a really super awesome Tunisian crochet experience, I'll see you in the studio in just 1 second. We're gonna make a loose chain 2. Okay, let's start off with a loose chain 2. Next, we're going to single crochet in the back hump of the first chain. We're going to increase on the right side. Skipping the main big bar here, insert your hook into the little bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And this is your right side increase. Next, insert your hook under the front end loop, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Then you're going to slip your hook underneath both end loops, yarn over, and pull up a loop. Now you have your left side increase made. We're going to do a normal close, so chain 1, yarn over and pull through 2 loops to the end of the row. And this is going to apply for all rows, a normal close. Okay, step 1 is done. Now we're ready for row 1. We're going to always do a right side increase until it's time for the decrease. So insert your hook, just like shown. Now you have your right side increase. For row 1, you're going to yarn over from the front, and then let's do that again. It's a little tricky. Bring your yarn to the front. Normally from here we would just bring our yarn to the front and then do our purl stitch, but what we're going to do, because we're going to do a decrease, so yarn over, bring your yarn to the front, insert your hook under the next 2 bars, yarn over, and pull up a loop through those 2 bars. Now we have 4 loops on our hook. Then we're ready for the left side decrease. Left side increase. So yarn over, pull up 1 loop through the front end loop, insert your hook under both end loops, yarn over, and pull through both. So now we have 6 loops on our hook, and we're going to do a normal close. Chain 1 and pull through 2 all the way down. Okay, so we finished row 1, and let's get ready for the right side increase. Now we're going to start the stitch pattern So after our increase, you have this little bar right here. You're always going to skip the next bar, which is that one, okay? So bring your yarn to the front, basically 2 times. Insert your hook under 1 bar from the one group and 1 bar from the next group. We're going to do a purl stitch, and to make up for the decreases, you're always going to do the wraparound 2 times. Insert your hook into the next vertical bar, as shown, and make your purl stitch. Then we're going to do the left side increase. Insert your hook underneath the front end loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. Insert your hook underneath both end loops, yarn over and pull up, and then proceed with your normal close. Okay, so now we're ready to just repeat. Let's do our right side increase, and I'm going to lead you through this and point out some of the differences. So we're going to wrap around to the front 2 times, skipping the next bar, inserting your hook into the bar next to it and to the first bar of the next group. Tunisian purl decrease. We're going to do the same thing. Wrap around to the front twice. Insert your hook into the last bar from the group that you were just in. And you'll notice that there's only 1 bar here. You're going to use that bar. At the end of each row, before you do your purl stitch, you're going to have, it's not really a group, it just is 1 stitch, 1 vertical bar. So insert your hook, just like there's another group there, yarn over and pull through 2, and you have your decrease. Wrap around to the front twice. Insert your hook under your last vertical bar there. Make your purl stitch. And then we're going to be ready for the left side increase. Okay, I hope that's good for you guys. I hope that you can get this. I really do. And then, of course, a normal close. And I'm doing this just so you guys can see how the stitches form on the return row, or the close. Alright, so go ahead and repeat this row, making sure to do your increases on each side. And I'll see you in just a few short rows, and we will start the right side decrease. Okay, so now we're ready to do the right side decrease. So stop when you have 3 loops left on your hook, and your item is the size that you want to make it. So instead of yarning over and pulling through the 2, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And now our decrease is made. Now for row 1 decrease, it's going to be just like the very beginning, okay? And then all the other decreases are going to be different. Or, well, they're going to be the same. The first one is different, okay? So what we're going to do is, instead of skipping like we have been on all the other rows, just for this part of the decrease, you're going to yarn over twice, as normal, in the front. And we're going to pick up that stitch and the one next to it from the next group, just like this. And we're going to proceed with the stitch pattern, just as normal. one more. Remember, we've got our stitch from the last group and then our lone stitch over here. Now we're going to do the purl. And our left side increase. We're going to keep increasing on the left side until our item reaches the length that we want. Okay, so follow through with a normal close and I'll meet you right back over here for the next decrease. And all of the decreases after this one I'm going to show you will be the same until we start the left side decrease. Okay, so we're at the end of our row again, and we're going to make our decrease with the last 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to proceed with the stitch pattern like we did before. So from here, you're going to now skip the next bar. And this is going to apply for every single row on the right side decrease until your item gets to be the length that you want. So let's yarn over to the front twice, skip the next bar, come into the next bar from that group and the first bar from the other group, and make your Tunisian purl decrease. Yarn over to the front twice, insert your hook into the last bar and the first bar, Tunisian purl decrease. Okay, so keep continuing this pattern this way, making your left side increases until your item gets to be the length that you want. Alright, and I'll see you in just a few minutes. Okay, quick note, when you make your decrease on the right side here, you're going to pull your loop up just a little bit and then continue with your stitch pattern. And the reason I do this part, extending that end loop a little bit, is because if you don't, what's going to happen is your item is going to have more tension on one side than the other, and it's going to curl one way or curve inward on one or the other side. So keep that in mind, keep your tension good, and just extend your end loop a little tiny bit after your right side decrease. Okay, my item is where I want it to be, so I'm just going to work this row back down over to here, and what we're going to do is we're going to stop when we have one unworked stitch and our end loops left over. So I'll meet you right over here. Okay, so we're down at the end and we have our last unworked stitch and our end loops. So we're going to do the left side decrease. So insert your hook underneath the last bar, underneath both end loops, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And that's your first left side decrease. Pull your end loop up just slightly, continue with a normal close, chain 1, and pull through 2 loops all the way down. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to keep on decreasing on the right side, and you're going to continue to decrease on the left side. So I'll meet you guys over here on the decrease, just so we can see how to do this part right here, okay? So go ahead and finish this row, and I'll see you right here. Okay, so let's continue with this left side decrease, which is just a little tricky, not too much. So we need one unworked stitch and our end loops for each decrease on the left side. So after you get through making your last little group here, you're going to do your yarn over twice, just like we normally do. We're going to make a purl stitch in the next stitch. Then we're going to we have our last unworked stitch and our end loops. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Extend your end loop just a little bit, continue with a normal close of chaining 1, pull through 2, all the way down. All right, so go ahead and close up your item, decreasing on the right side as we have been, and now you're going to decrease on the left at every row. Remember, you're going to purl stitch in the second to the last stitch, so that way you have one unworked stitch and your end loops. All right, so I'll see you guys in just a few minutes. I'll meet you when we have about 5 or 6 loops left on our hook. Let's work this last part together. We're going to yarn over twice and make our purl stitch just before our decrease on the left side. So we're going to decrease, and then we're going to do a normal close. Okay, we're almost there. Let's make our last stitches here. Purl stitch. Our decrease on the left side. Normal close. All right, so we have our stitch we're going to skip, and then we have our next loop. We're going to make our purl stitch right here. This is the last available stitch before we do our decrease. Decrease. I'm sorry. Normal close. Now we have one stitch left and one set of end loops left over. So insert your hook into the last stitch just like we always have been doing here, and then we're going to insert it under our end loops, yarn over through 2. And there you have it. Congratulations! You made it to the end. All right, let me know what you think. As always, I love hanging out with you guys. Peace out. Leave me a comment. I'll chit chat with you in the very near future.